Hey, what's going on YouTube? What's happening, guys? Bringing you some breaking news today. Rapper EBE Bandz, real name William Anderson Pickering, has been missing since end of May. It was announced earlier today, probably about 6-8 hours ago, that his body was found up in Rockford, Illinois. Rockford's maybe about an hour and a half north of Chicago. I initially heard about this story, not that he was missing. I'd heard that part of the story. I initially heard about his body being found from Lockdown 23-1. He runs one of these prison YouTube channels. I saw he had a live stream talking about it earlier today. And earlier this afternoon, it was really only like local, small local Rockford papers that were announcing this. We'll take a look at a couple of these articles, but murder charges filed after Rockford rapper found dead. I was kind of surprised that they're referring to EBE Bandz as a Rockford rapper. I know he kind of hung around with the guys on the far south side of Chicago. I believe he lived in Evanston, which is northern suburb, actually kind of a nice ritzy suburb, just north of Chicago. Up there. So I was kind of surprised they referred to him as a Rockford rapper. Later in the afternoon, as things have gone on, YouTube has gotten flooded with more stories about this, and Complex released a story about it. And so we'll kind of take a look at all this. One thing I was surprised by, this is a couple weeks back when he first went missing, his manager put this up, and his manager has actually been updating his YouTube or his Instagram account. And here's the guys who are responsible for this. As far as kind of the buzz going on online, a lot of people are kind of surprised by the looks of these guys. EBE Bandz hung around with a lot of gang members and guys who were really kind of gangsters. And to hear he was not only killed violently with a baseball bat and then set on fire. And then, a lot of people are kind of like joking or ragging on these kids that these guys look like a bunch of like emo kids or Fortnite players. So not really who you would expect to have murdered EBE Bandz. It came out, one of these guys, I'm not sure which one it was, but one of these guys was actually kind of a buddy of his, I guess. So this sounds like it was kind of an inside job, like one of his friends kind of screwed him over. And there's still one more guy on the run, I think a 20-year-old, 22-year-old, who's not charged with the murder, but is charged with helping dispose of the body. This is one of the first articles that came out about this. This is from the Rockford, the RR Star local Rockford paper. Murder charges filed after Rockford rapper found dead. A Rockford man who was reportedly missing June 1st was beaten to death with a baseball bat before his body was set on fire, according to a criminal complaint filed in Winnebago County. The body of William Pickering, 23-year-old rapper who also went by EBE Bandz and Billy the Kid on Instagram, was found Thursday in unincorporated Winnebago County. Police did not disclose where his body was found. Charging documents allege that he was killed on or about May 25th. 2 people have been charged in connection with Pickering's death, and a third is being sought. William Arzate, 22, is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of concealment of a homicide. Arzate's bond is set at $1 million. Manuel Ramirez, 22, is charged with concealment of a homicidal death. Ramirez is being held on $500,000 bond. Police are searching for Dakota Graff, 20, who they say is wanted on unrelated warrants. So that's kind of weird. A lot of people have been commenting on that as well. If this Dakota Graff isn't wanted in connection with this story, why would you mention that he's wanted on unrelated warrants? Maybe they're not quite yet considering him as a suspect, so they're going to try to bring, we all watched First 48, maybe they're going to try to bring him in on unrelated charges and then kind of question him about this story. Anybody with information on Graff's whereabouts is asked to call the police at 815-966-2900 or Rockford Area Crime Stoppers. According to the criminal complaint, Arzate struck Pickering in the head with a baseball bat, causing his death. The complaint states Arzate and Ramirez then moved Pickering's body to a wooded area in Winnebago County and set it on fire. The complaint states Arzate was acting with 2 others when he killed Pickering, but it does not name those people. The police made an initial missing persons and welfare check for Pickering almost 3 weeks ago when his red car was removed from a garage in the 500 block of Fisher Avenue near his home. Authorities disclosed few details about the case. Police Chief Dan O'Shea said detectives located several people of interest in the case on Thursday, and the investigation led them to a crime scene in the 5200 block of Indian Head Avenue. Furthermore, investigation led detectives to Pickering's body, which was found in a wooded area in unincorporated Winnebago County, according to the criminal complaint charges. During the first appearances in bond court Friday afternoon, Judge John Gibbons denied requests to reduce bond for both men. Ramirez's attorney, Rene Hernandez, entered a not guilty plea on behalf of his client and argued for a $5,000 bond. He said Ramirez's only prior offenses had been traffic tickets. He doesn't belong in jail, Hernandez said. $500,000 is completely excessive on a Class 3 felony with no priors. Assistant Public Defender Sean Trosh also asked for lower bonds for Arzate, not specifying a number. He too said Arzate's only prior criminal offenses have been traffic violations. Deputy State's Attorney Brenda Quaid asked that both men have no contact with each other. Graff and a fourth man, Colton Kennecker. Gibbons agreed. Graff and Kennecker have not been charged in connection with the rapper's death. We're looking for more people, Quaid said after the hearing. She declined to comment on whether Graff or Kennecker could face charges. After the hearing, Hernandez said he will continue to seek a bond reduction for Ramirez and request a speedy trial. He was asked to do a favor and had no knowledge he was transporting a body, Hernandez said. We were unhappy that the judge maintained a $500,000 bond. He didn't commit the crime of hurting another individual. I'm not sure how somebody asks you to move a body and you don't know that you're moving a body. Like, hey, let me just throw this large body size bag into your trunk. Like, it just doesn't seem that likely. One thing a lot of people have been commenting on is a lot of people have been saying like, oh, EBE Bandz has been being a lot more positive on Instagram. Like, it's really, obviously this is a sad story. We don't want to see anybody get killed. But I heard a lot of people saying, I don't really follow his Instagram, but I've heard a lot of people saying like, oh, he was being a lot more positive. Like, he was really kind of changing his life and trying to do positive things. And so I was kind of curious to see that. But I pulled this up, and this is May 24th, the day before he was murdered, and he's holding a Tommy gun, what is this, like an MP5 and a Glock in a picture there. Play with any of mines and you die. So, a sad story, but you live by the gun, you die by the gun. And I'm not really sure where everybody's coming up with this, like, oh, he was changing his life. We got him here, throwing up gang signs. That's kind of a positive picture. We got the jewelry. I guess that's a little bit more positive. I watched some of these. One thing that's kind of interesting, some of his most recent posts, and this looks go. You guys can probably hear this. I probably can't. I don't have headphones on, but this is 4 or 5 days before his death. This one was, 6 days before his death. 5-6 days before his death. A lot, you can check out his Instagram is Billy the Kid. But if you check out his Instagram, a lot of these posts have been him kind of ranting about fake friends and people kind of wanting to take advantage of his fame but not being his friends in real life and things like that. So it's kind of interesting that what it looks like is that he was actually kind of killed by some of his friends. So I wonder if there's any connection between him kind of feeling like all his friends are out to get him, nobody's got his back, and then he winds up dead. But people keep talking about the positivity, but we keep seeing all these posts about guns. I'll get you this, that, and the other. So I'm not really sure where people are coming up with this positivity stuff. Complex.com also did a story. I think this one's within the last hour or two. 2 suspects charged in the murder of rapper EBE Bandz. I actually haven't read this one yet, but we'll take a quick peruse through here, see if there's anything kind of new that we didn't see in the other article. 2 men have been arrested, according to the Rockford Register-Star. Blah, 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 blah. Shortly after Pickering's body was found, another 2 blacks. Damn, R.I.P. Continues. Yeah, so it doesn't really look like anything there new. Unfortunate to hear, when I initially heard about this story, I was kind of anticipating this was kind of a PR stunt, a publicity stunt. I didn't think he was really going to be dead. I know a lot of people have talked about he might have been on the run. I don't think he was facing any charges. He'd already kind of dealt with those gun charges from a couple years ago. But a lot of people were speculating, oh, was he running away from some charges? I kind of thought it was a publicity stunt. So kind of sad to see that he actually was killed. And right now the amount of news and stuff is pretty vague. It'll be interesting to see kind of if more comes out about this story. Did they want money out of him? What was this all about? If you have any more information, if I left anything else out, go ahead and drop a comment down in the comment section below. And let me know if you guys want to kind of stay updated on this story. If so, I will try to drop future videos as more information comes out. I'm guessing once they kind of track down these other two guys who are wanted kind of for questioning, maybe we'll get a little bit more information about this case. But if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below. I'll link to kind of the articles and things that we kind of discussed in this video in the description box below, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later, guys.